We're live. All right. Welcome everybody here to today's edition of Nnscra Hot Stove Talk Show on May the 15th, 2018. About 24 hours removed from the first Hot Stove Talk Show yesterday, and a lot has happened in that time. And I'm going to bring it to you. And there's also a big announcement that's going on that I decided on, and it's going to affect the schedule for next season. So I will get to that. That's basically the big story, I think. But we'll get to that momentarily. I don't know how long today's episode is going to be. We ran about an hour and a half yesterday. I don't know if we're going to have that much time today. We may end up being somewhere within the span of about a half hour, but I'll try and fit in all the news that I can. Of course, you can follow along in the chat. I've got the video up, so I'll be able to watch the live chat as it comes in. I believe I'm not 100% certain, but I believe tomorrow I may end up having some guests with me. So stay tuned for that. That'll be a lot of fun, and we will possibly start building on to the schedules for next year for Coors Light Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. But let's get down to the news, shall we? So, one thing that we had as a question mark for uh, the Hershey's Cup Series when we ended off yesterday's live stream was we didn't know what the end result was going to be for Scott Roush, who managed to finish in the top 5 of the Pizza Hut X point standings this past season. Was able to move up to the Hershey's Cup Series. We didn't know if he was going to do that or not. Well, we find out. Yes, he is indeed doing that. He is going to be driving the number 60 Sharpie Toyota Camry for Kev Shearer Racing Tech. The picture of the car has been posted over on the Paint Schemes section of Discord, which I would like to just quickly make a quick little edit to something I said yesterday. I got it confused. It's actually Jay Jefferson who put together the Discord, the Nnscra Discord, not John Arndt. I got it confused because the username had a 05 in it, and I just naturally assumed the 05 was John Arndt. It's actually Jay Jefferson. So I apologize, Jay. Thank you for putting the Discord together and having more knowledge of Discord than I do to be able to do that. But Scott Roush is going to be moving into the number 60 next year in the Hershey's Cup Series. It'll be his first full-time season. He will qualify for Rookie of the Year, which means that our rookie class is going to consist of 5 drivers now. Holly Davis in the 3, Joshua Osborne in the 27, which I think I originally had, and then I switched it over to the 70, and then I found out it was actually still the 27. So Osborne, Jordan Lopez in the 79, Scott Roush in the 60, and Dougie Shears in the 07. So 1 rookie out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports, 2 rookies out of Kev Shearer Racing Tech, and 2 rookies out of Michael Norman Motorsports. So right now, out of the 42 available spots in the Hershey's Cup Series, all of them are taken with the exception of 1, and that 1 still relies on James Richardson. I still have not heard from him. I'm going to give Richardson until the end of Friday. If I don't hear from him, then obviously he's not really paying attention to the series anymore. I've seen no comments out of him in the past 24 hours. And so if he does not end up replying back to me by the end of Friday, if I wake up on Saturday, see nothing, then that final charter will go over to CJ Racing's 83 for Chris Dollerton, and that will be the full field there. Now, there have been some developments over in the Pizza Hut X Series. I'll just quickly go through them for you here. We have the return of a number of Full Frontal Motorsports, formerly William Brock Motorsports drivers. Mark Davidson, former playoff contender, will be back in the 29. Andre Bernascus will be back in the 2. And Joshua Hyatt will return in the number 92. So we know that those drivers are going to be back. We also know that Chloe Erickson is going to be back in the number 46. Now, at this point in time, based off of what I've got here for Pizza Hut X Series. Oh, I should also mention Agent Navarro is changing his number to 07. He's going to be driving for Kev Shearer Racing Tech now. Now, I do have to get in touch with Kev Shearer and find out just exactly how many cars he's planning on having, because right now I've also got the 38 and the 45, formerly driven by Scott Roush and Jordan Lopez in this field. I don't know if he's planning on fielding those cars or not. But right now, based on what I have, there are 40 cars that are already entered into next season's Pizza Hut X Series, and 34 drivers have been signed to those rides. So there's really only 2 other slots available for other cars. So I don't yet know, uh, if there's going to, if it'll maybe whittle down to 38 cars, if those 2 Chemistry Racing Tech cars are taken off the list, because right now Chemistry Racing Tech would be a 3-car team with Ryan George in the 4. I got something mixed up here. Ryan George in the 4, Nick Gunther in the 55, and now Angel Navarro in the 07. So I don't know what the whole deal is going to be with those 2 rides. So if those 2 rides are going to be null and void, there'd be only 38 cars in the field with 34 drivers in those cars. So there'd be like 4 slots still open. Then you move to the Truck Series, the Coors Light Truck Series. Some other announcements were made over there. Erica Douglas, this announcement was made a long time ago, but I forgot to put her in the list. Erica Douglas for World NOS Racing in the number 22. Also have Marcus Saachi, a former driver in the Final Four back in Season 1 of the Truck Series. He'll be on the number 29 for Smart Motorsports. Smart Motorsports also signing some other drivers, including the 09 Target truck is going to be driven by Elijah Gordon. Gordon, a former driver in the, I think he was in the Hershey's Cup Series for a little bit, and he also was in the Pizza Hut X Series. If you'll remember back, I think it was in Season 2. Might have been Season 1, but I think it was Season 2 of the Pizza Hut X Series. Elijah Gordon drove half the season in the 2 Ream Chevrolet, and then Zach Rogers drove that car for the remainder of the season. And then also Smart Motorsports number 99 is going to be driven by rookie Roger Ray. We also found out at the end of yesterday's stream that Zach Winkle will be returning back to the number 90 car for Flickinger Racing Development. Right now, with what I have written down, there are 31 trucks that are currently in the field at this point in time, leaving 11 slots open, and 22 drivers have filled those 31 spots. Michael, you do own the most cars in the Pizza Hut X Series. You own 5 in total. Next one highest would be Backmarker Motorsports with 4. And then I think also Strigley Motorsports, when they get their rides filled, they'll have 4 as well. All right, so with Hershey's Cup Series completely filled up, which is not unusual since it's a charter system, and basically we eliminate 5 drivers from Hershey's Cup Series, and then 5 drivers take over those charters for Pizza Hut X. There's not really much opportunity there for anybody to sneak their way into having a Hershey's Cup Series ride. Pizza Hut X Series is filling up a lot quicker than I thought, too. I normally am able to have some extra signups. I usually throw in the Roush Fenway Racing cars. I throw in the Joe Gibbs Racing cars. That's not looking like that's going to be the case here, as we have, and this is just with quotes around it because I don't know yet, let's just say 38 to 40 cars in the field right now. Albeit there are still rides that are open that would be able to be signed up for in a sign-up video. And then you go to the Truck Series, and there's already 31 trucks that are fielded with 22 drivers in them. So I thought to myself, possibly about thinking of doing another series as well, having 4 series running at the same time. Not certain what that series would be, though. I thought about maybe bringing back the Last of Us Light series for a second season. I thought about possibly having a dirt series. Whatever series it would end up being would only be a total of, I'm pretty sure, 10 races in length. With that being said, if I did actually an ARCA series, okay, that's an interesting idea. I'll consider that as well. But whatever the series would end up being, it would be 10 races in length. With that being said, if I was to actually put together a 4th series, it would actually whittle down the length of next year's Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. And I will share my screen with you guys real quickly to show you what I have come up with of how that would affect it in terms of next year. Now, I haven't put the schedule completely together in terms of, the different tracks and stuff, but this is what the schedule would look like, not counting that fourth series should I decide to do it. Okay, so here's a look at it. This is what it would look like. It would be the Coors Light Truck Series. They would run a total of 15 races, 10 regular season races, 5 uh, playoff races, which would, I believe, cut, I think it's 5 races off the schedule from last season. Pizza Hut X Series would run 20 races. That would cut 7 races off last year's schedule. 13 regular season races and 7 playoff races. And then Hershey's Cup Series would go from 36 races in total down to 25. 15 races regular season, 10 races playoffs. As you can see, we'd have the All-Star Race weekend split it in the middle. So trucks would have 5 and 5 in their regular season. Pizza Hut would have 7 and 6. And Hershey's Cup would have 8 and 7 for their respective areas. And then we'd have the playoffs. We'd have the same basic format as we had last season. 5 races for trucks with 3 rounds. 2 races is the first round, 2 races the second round, and the final round, the last race, the finale. Pizza Hut X Series, they would be 3 rounds with 3 races in the first round, 3 races in the second round, then a third round being at the finale. And then we would have the 4 rounds for Hershey's Cup, 3 races for the first round, 3 races for the second round, 3 races for the third round, and then the final 4th round, the season finale race, which all these races possibly the finales being an Auto Club, unless, we end up deciding something different in the schedule. But that's what it would look like right now. I don't 100% know where the 10 races would slot in for the 4th series. Probably somewhere here during the off seasons of trucks. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots right there. So they would probably fit into those slots. Like race 1 would be there, race 2 would be here, 3 would be there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 would probably be right there, which would be kind of strange not having all 4 series end on the same weekend. But regardless, it's not really going to be like a main series. So, like I said, I don't know what it would absolutely be there for the exact schedule. I mean, if it ends up being an ARCA series, we would probably run a lot of short tracks, with possible exception of throwing Talladega into there probably one weekend. I think that if we did a dirt track series, we'd be going to a lot of short tracks again. The thing I got to look into if we're doing a dirt track series, though, is there's not very many dirt tracks out there that field 42 race cars. And I want to have still a full 42 car field, so that way drivers that don't get into Pizza Hut X Series or Coors Light Truck Series have an opportunity to be able to get into a race. But I think like the only dirt tracks that are really out there that field 42 full cars, Bristol Dirt made an edit, so now you can field 42 cars there. I don't think DuQuoin does it. I don't think Eldora does it. Springfield does it. There's very limited dirt tracks out there. So I'm gonna have to look and see. Maybe I may end up doing some kind of a road course series. Who knows? But it will be throwing the idea around. There's still plenty of time in the off season, but it would be 10 races in length, and I'm thinking it probably would fill in these slots here the weeks that the Coors Light Truck Series is not running. But it certainly will make it a lot more limited as well for who's going to make it into the playoffs and who won't. I mean, if you look here, you got 15 races for the regular season, and the 16 drivers that get into the playoffs for that. I mean, we're going to end up having some drivers that probably will get into the playoffs via points rather than drivers that get in via wins, which is going to, I think, be a little bit better in terms of drivers that have had really consistent years but haven't necessarily gotten a win. I mean, you look back at last year, Jordan Anderson, definitely one of the most consistent drivers during the season. You look at Quentin Moore in the Pizza Hut X Series last year. He was really consistent. He was leading the points at the end of the year, but both those drivers did not have a win and so didn't make it into the playoffs. This format, I think, with a shorter schedule and especially a shorter regular season, is going to allow for drivers like that to be able to get in based on their consistent finishes, which I think is going to be, quite honestly, better all around in terms of that. So I kind of think that's a bit of an idea, a good idea. The old Hooters Pro Cup schedule. What in the world is that? I don't know what the Hooters Pro Cup schedule is, so that's completely lost on me. But But anyway, uh, so that's what I have for a look for the schedule. And like I said, the reason that I want to be able to throw out a fourth series there is because right now, over 50% of Pizza Hut X Series and Tax Lay Truck Series, which are kind of the runoff series for drivers that can't get into Hershey's Cup Series, they're starting to get filled up already. So I want people to have the opportunity to be able to get into those specific rides. If I end up doing another series, in terms of, let's say it's an ARCA series, let's say it's a road course series, etc. I'm not certain if I'm going to have it be a uh, custom looking series or not. We're gonna have to kind of wait and see on that. It all basically depends on the mod. I mean, if I brought back the Last of Us Light series, there's no question in my mind I would probably bring back the original cut mod. I don't know if I would necessarily go to the 2007 cars that I had back then. I'm trying to remember actually. I think wasn't the Last of Us Light series during Oreo Truck Series, Mobile Cup Series, Hershey's Cup Series, I think. Or not Hershey's, Snickers Cup Series. Not 100% certain. Okay, Hooters Pro Cup was a series created to further help drivers develop getting into NASCAR. Okay. Basically short tracks. Okay, the only issue with that though, again, is I'd have to find short tracks that field 42 cars. Big problem you run into with short tracks is you get ones that field 34 cars, 36 cars. A lot of them field only 40 cars. Makes it a bit of a problem. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into seeing if I would indeed actually uh, do custom cars for whatever series it ends up being. I'm trying to think if I ended up doing a road course series, what mod I would do. But I'm not really sure about that. I think you would find 10 that could field 42. You're probably right. You're probably right that I would be able to probably find 10 short tracks that could field 42 cars. Uh, I mean, if I ended up doing short tracks, I can think of a few that immediately spring to mind that I would definitely put on the schedule. But we'd have to wait and see. I think I hear thunder outside. So if I end up having a bit of a lag or internet issues, I apologize. I think I've got a thunderstorm over me. Let's see. K&N type series would only field about 30 cars anyway. Yeah, I mean, whichever series ends up being, whether it fits the norm or not, it would still be 42 cars probably. A Rolex series. The only problem with Rolex series, I've run series that run the GTP mod. They are so difficult to tell apart from each other. You're like, who is that race car? It's hard to see the number. It's like, I don't know. But okay, I think I'm going to ask you guys this right now because I was actually brainstorming this last night. I do a lot of thinking about NR 2003 offline before I go to sleep, which probably isn't the best thing. But anyway, a lot of you guys watched this past season where we ended up having not only the race at Thornton, which we're going to keep, we're definitely going to keep Thornton on the schedule for next year, but we also ended up running another endurance race at Baja Rally. What was your guys' opinion on that race, on that track? Would you want that back on the schedule? More than likely, it would just run in the Hershey's Cup Series, but do you guys think that one endurance race at Thornton is enough, or do you think Baja Rally should come back for a second season? Or do you think we should go to some other kind of endurance track, like possibly open roads, the Blacklands? They've got that new holiday track out now that's a road course. Uh, there's Mount Rushmore Scenic Drive. I mean, there's some other ones that are out there that I'd be able to put onto the schedule, test out, see what they're like. But Baja Rally seemed cool. I don't know if you guys would want that back or not. So, I mean, it's entirely up to you guys on what you think about that. Uh, Another thing that I'm looking into as well is trying to add some new road courses onto the schedule. I'm not 100% certain we're going to come back to Sonoma next year. We may end up going instead to Wheels of Fire, or what I used to call Champs-Élysées. That track always brought about some good racing. Except I got to find that track. That track is apparently missing, and I haven't been able to find it. I think, but I'm not certain. I think Dylan Young's got it, so I got to get in touch with him and find out if he can shoot that to me. New Smyrna Speedway. Got a track over on WKC. Oh no, it's over on Rolling Thunder Gaming. Let's see. It's a short oval. Oh wait, I think I've run that track before actually. Yeah, I have. I've run that short track. Uh, I mean, yeah, that would possibly be a track that we would go to. Uh, it is a lot more normal of a road course than Thornton, and that is true. WKC Holiday. I've watched the cars race on it. The race pretty good. The only reason why nothing is going to replace Thornton, Thornton has been a standpoint, if you will, in my series, even going back to when I ran Oreo Trucks Mobile One and Snickers Cup. So, that track's brought about good racing. It's kind of been a cornerstone of all my schedules, as I don't think Thornton will ever get replaced off of the schedule. So, yeah, Thornton's not getting replaced. If we replaced a track, it would probably be Baja Rally, more than likely. Are you been to New Smyrna Speedway? Yeah, I just noticed that New Smyrna's in Florida, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Let me see. What's the first race that we actually ran at Thornton? I'm curious what season it was. It was back in season 6 of Oreo Truck Series, Mobile One Cup Series, and Snickers Cup Series, September 9th through the 10th of 2013. Wow. That is a long ways back. But yeah, it's been around on the schedule for a long time, so definitely wanting that. Okay, yeah, it's true. It wasn't really endurance, but it's a survival race, which kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole playoff situation. Uh, I'm not even sure I actually could run an endurance race, complete endurance race at Thornton, because a lot of people say it actually crashes. Let's see. Run Nuremberg Ring, Northcliffe. Yeah, that would definitely be a long race. Uh, I remember running an endurance race at I think it was Sarth, pretty sure, and that took forever. That track has a bit of a problem with the AI as well, but yeah, I mean, I'll get more into this when I'm compiling the schedule and everything too. We'll see. Uh, and we'll see how that goes in terms of whether we end up bringing back Baja Rally or not. But Thornton's definitely staying, and we'll see if we bring back Sonoma or not. Uh, but anyway, let's see. I think there was just one other thing I was going to tell you guys. So yeah, I honestly think, I think that it'd be smart to bring a fourth series in, 10 races, shorten the schedule up, for two reasons. One, it gets more people into running the series, and two, like I said, with a shorter regular season, it allows drivers that actually are running well in the series to get into the playoffs via points. Because last season, let's be honest, Quentin Moore should have made the playoffs uh, in the Pizza Hut X series. Over in Hershey's Cup series, more than likely, Jordan Anderson should have made the playoffs. Probably Joseph Srigley, Sean Galligan, they should have made the playoffs. So, I think it's going to make it a little bit better in terms of drivers that are consistently running well in the regular season, getting rewarded with a chance of being in the playoffs. So, I think that's going to be a good thing. All right. So, as the thunder continues to rumble above my head, that's all I've got currently here for Hot Stove Talk Show News. Like I said, possibly tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. We'll start compiling the schedule. There are certain tracks that are going to be on the schedule no matter what. Obviously, we're going to be starting off the season at Daytona. I am not certain we're going to finish off the regular season at M&M Super Speedway, however. I am seriously considering moving the regular season finales to determine the playoffs to Hillside, which is a shorter racetrack, but it seems to, in a way, be like a restrictor plate track. And Hillside has been, I think, for the past 3 seasons, the track where the best races has gone on. So we may end up not going to M&M Super Speedway for the regular season finales. We may end up having that replaced with Hillside. And I'm seriously wondering, and you guys can voice your opinion on this, on whether or not we should end up having, yeah, hi Kev, Hillside, yay, your favorite track. I'm wondering, should we end up having the finales be at Auto Club, or should we have them be somewhere else? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Auto Club brings about great racing. There's no doubt about it. But we've only got 4 drivers that are battling for a championship whenever we go to the season finales. And Auto Club is one of those tracks in particular where the field gets really, really spread out. I mean, I think the closest battle, if I recall correctly, that we had all of the 3 races of the race weekend, the closest battle that we really had for the championship was at one point between Jake Baskinger and Brooke Allen. Other than that, there really was no clear battling for the win in the championship in any of the 3 series. So, is there another track out there where there would be better racing for position that would involve the 4 playoff contenders, make it more of a battle with the championship on the line? I mean, you look back at most, well, with the exception of the Pizza Hut X Series, because Joshua Osborne had the 3 bonus points, but you look at the Tax Slayer Truck Series race, the championship was won by 7 points. The Pizza Hut X Series race, the championship was won by 25 points. And then the Hershey's Cup Series race, the championship was won by 7 points. 7 points is close, but it's not really that close. And you consider the fact, too, I mean, let's be honest, it was a bit of a wreck fest at Auto Club this past year, and I didn't make any changes in the INI. So I don't know. It just kind of seems like I want to be able to have all 4 of the playoff contenders be in the hunt there for the championship and not be involved in wrecks and be around each other and make it really come down to the wire for that championship. I mean, if you think about it, okay, let's kind of in our minds think about the fact that if we in the Pizza Hut X Series had the season finale at Homestead, had the same race that we had there, we would have had a photo finish between 2 playoff drivers with the championship on the line between Joshua Osborne and Scott Roush. That would have been an unbelievable way to end off the season. So, yeah, that's a possibility there, but I don't know if Homestead would bring about that, year after year. Zenjoltis. Okay, I have looked into Zenjoltis. The problem with Zenjoltis is that Zenjoltis has 2 flaws, and one flaw coincides with the other. The first flaw is that Zenjoltis has very organized rows, if you will, when racing. There's not a lot of drivers that decide, okay, I'm going to move here and make a different line and make it, instead of 5 wide, make it 6 wide. In order to do that, you have to remove the racing line. When you remove the racing line, then the cars decide they want to go down the apron. When they go down the apron, they try and transition back up. The car kind of does a little bit of a jiggle, gets the car loose, shoots it up into the race pack, and causes big wrecks. So, in order to get really good racing, you have to have them run on the apron, and then they end up wrecking each other. And so that's something that I want to try to avoid. And so as a result, probably that's not going to be something we're going to do. I mean, if you want a case in point, go back and look at the Zenjoltis race back at which series was it? Winston Super Speedway series that I ran during the off season of the last transition between Hershey's Cup Series seasons 5 and 6. It was a bit of a wreck fest there. Atlanta, possibly. We have been to Atlanta before, but it's a 1.5-mile racetrack. Things get kind of spread out there. I mean, there's probably a track out there where it would be a good season finale. I just got to kind of go back in my memory bank, think about it, do some experimenting with tracks. Maybe there's a track out there I've never used that would be a good track. But you know, we'll wait and see on that. I mean, if there's a track that is somewhat similar, I guess, to Auto Club, a speedway that takes on a super speedway type, but the cars are more bunched up. I mean, that probably be something I would be looking for. Uh, but just kind of wait and see. Uh, as I look at the schedule though from last year, like I said, Daytona's obviously coming back. Bristol Dirt's going to definitely be coming back, at least for Hershey's Cup and probably for Tax Slayer Truck Series. Uh, those races were really, really good. Charlotte's obviously going to still be on the schedule because of the whole All-Star race thing. It's at least going to be there for the Hershey's Cup Series. Arizona will definitely be coming back. Darlington will obviously be on the schedule because we're going to have throwback weekend. Yes, we're actually going to be doing that for Hershey's Cup this year. I know I did it back in season 5, didn't do it in season 6. We will be doing it in season 7. Thornton will basically be staying. Hillside obviously is going to be staying. I don't know yet if we're going to keep Rockingham, North Carolina. That track was actually really good. That track had 2 different lines working and everything. It just took them having a couple cautions to actually have really good racing. I mean, that was a good battle back between Trent Dunham, Keith Batson, and Joseph Srigley in that Hershey's Cup Series race. So that one might actually come back. But the thing that I'm not certain about is if we're going to have a lot of our dirt tracks come back that had the dual racing. I don't know if Eldora is going to come back. I don't know if DuQuoin is going to come back. I think there was another one too, another dirt track that we were at that we had to split them into different divisions. I think that was Bristol Dirt, but Bristol Dirt now has an edited I&I where it'll fit 42 cars, so we won't have to worry about that. I think that another track we will definitely bring back on the schedule will be Madrid. That track was good. Homestead, Miami is going to probably be coming back. Okay, the other track that I was looking at where we ended up having a dirt track race was Oswego. I don't know if that's going to be coming back. Indianapolis, I think that's going to probably come back, possibly. Only problem is we always seem to have Wreckfests there. So I want to bring it back, but then again, I'm a little hesitant. Kentucky will probably be coming back. I don't know yet about Talladega if I want to have it just be the one race this season or put it twice on the schedule again. I ended up having the last season only run at Talladega for the race 2 of round 3 of the championship, I think it was. We ended up replacing the first Talladega race with Bump Drafted Super Speedway, which that track was okay. I don't know if that one would come back or not. Dover would probably be definitely coming back on the schedule. I don't yet know about Phoenix. I'm hoping that they come out with the updated ISM Raceway with an updated LP in the track, because the one that I currently have, the cars go everywhere and they don't exactly do what they're supposed to do. So and my dog's barking. Yay. Daytona, I don't know if we're gonna do 2 races at Daytona. Start off the season with the 500 and then go to Daytona later on in the after the All-Star race in the second half of the regular season. Texas will probably come back. Atlanta will definitely probably be on the schedule. Kansas, I don't know yet. Baja Rally, of course, is up in the air. Rio de Janeiro, I don't know about that track, if that's going to be coming back or not. I mean, it used to be, before that, it was Rockingham, UK, but then when we ended up having pit stops, the LP has the cars drive into the wall. Rio de Janeiro's okay, but there's not a whole lot of passing there, so I don't know if that's a track that'll be coming back or not. Richmond, I don't know if Richmond's going to come back or not. So, there's a lot of question marks of tracks that could be coming back, a lot of question marks on tracks that could be eliminated. So we'll wait and see. An updated Phoenix. There is an updated Phoenix. You are correct. The only thing is that the updated Phoenix, I believe it's Phoenix 2018 SDT. It it's basically built for online racing. It's not for offline right now. So, I mean, if they come out with one that's good for offline racing, then, that would obviously be a good thing. But regardless. Okay. So, you guys have gotten an idea of what the schedule probably will look like for next year, provided I put in that fourth series, which I probably will. Uh, but as to what that series is going to be, I haven't decided yet. I mean, you guys have given me some good ideas there with ARCA, K&N, possibly the kind of building off of the Hooters Pro Cup, those kind of things. I'll definitely look into. I'm going to probably be looking over on, what is it, Enter 2003 tracks or something, Weebly.com, see what they have for mods, and we'll come up with something. But I think that's probably going to be a definite, though. I think I'm going to shorten the schedule on all the other three. Trucks will run 15 races, Pizza Hut 20 races, 25 races for Hershey's, and we'll fill in 10 races where the trucks are not running with a fourth series. Okay. Also, I will just tell you guys this now. I told somebody, I don't remember who it was, that I'm not running a series like I did with Winston Super Speedway. I'm not running a series during my off season this year. However, I possibly might be doing a one-off race, and I am considering doing an Nnscra Indy 500. I have not completely uh, sold myself on that idea yet, but I'm thinking about it. Especially, okay, I thought it was you, Kev, but I wasn't certain. I'm considering what I might do is I might end up running a Indy Lights race and then running the Indy 500. And what I would probably end up doing is having it where the top three finishers in Indy Lights would get 3 vacant rides in the Indy 500. But I haven't completely come up with whether I'm going to do that or not. So just letting you guys know, though, be aware. Keep an eye on the channel. I might end up doing something like that. If I decide to, I will try my best to notify you guys of when those signups would be. And yeah, we'd go from there. I'm trying to remember if I've ever actually done an Indy 500 on my channel, and I don't really recall doing it. I remember commentating an Indy 500 with, I think it was Anthony McCurry at the time. But yeah, the only Indianapolis 500 that's actually ever been run on my channel was actually done by James Qualls, the Castrol GTX IndyCars series, season 1 on August 2nd, 2016. So it would actually be the first time that I myself have actually run a Indy 500 series, or at least a race on my channel. I do remember Power Quest, as a matter of fact, Josh. I do. He has an updated Phoenix that he used for offline. Huh. And it's the new configuration with the start finish line on the back straightaway kind of thing. Because if that's out there and he was able to get it to use for offline, that would definitely be a track that I would want to have for the schedule next season. Because I mean, I had a version and I tried it and it didn't work. I'm also wondering if possibly the version that I've got, it was actually specifically edited for online. I do have I guess, the base of it. Yeah, if you could do that, Josh, I would really appreciate that, and I'll test out that track. That'd be awesome. All right, so that's cool. I'm gonna have to check that out, see how that racing is, because if put it this way, if the track works, it's definitely going to be on the schedule. Phoenix will definitely come back on the schedule. So yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, let's see. When is the Indy 500 running? I think Indy 500 is running this coming weekend. I think, right, guys, or something like that. Yeah, because we got the All Star Race weekend, or is it running 2 weeks from now? Something like that. So maybe I'll end up putting out some signups for something like that. Maybe coming up this weekend. Maybe like on Thursday or Friday. I got to go down to work on Thursday and Friday, so uh, maybe do something like that. Commentators for the Nnscra 8500 volunteers tribute. Okay, here's the problem with having commentators. Um, I am not able to run TeamSpeak on. Oh, you can send me a video. Okay, yeah, please do that, and then I'll message PowerQuest and see if I can get the track from him. Uh, Problem with commentators is uh, TeamSpeak doesn't work on this laptop anymore. Whenever I load it up, it crashes. It only works over on my other laptop. And if I were to record the Indy 500 race, I would probably record it over on this laptop. And I'm not able to have TeamSpeak up. I'd probably have to use Skype or something. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be able to have commentators. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not 100% certain on everything yet, but I'll come up with something. I guess we'll see if I'm able to have co-commentators and everything. If I end up having co-commentators, I'll probably end up doing the usual thing that I do, which is where I record the race ahead of time with no commentary. Then we go back, we record the commentary over it, and we go from there. But I'm probably down at work. I'll be able to record the race, record the commentating and everything. So we'll see. A special event with Enter 2003 leagues. Is that right? Okay, I didn't know that was common knowledge yet, but yeah, apparently there's a thing that's gonna be going on over on Napa Fan where there's gonna be like a showdown of different series. He asked me if I wanted Nnscra to join into that, and yeah, Nnscra is very privileged to be a part of that. I guess it's going to be taking place somewhere around the end of June, according to Napa Fan, and yep, we are Nnscra is taking part in that. So looking forward to that. Uh, you know, like I said, Nnscra is basically just here to kind of show, Energy 2003 offline is not dead. It's something that I still enjoy. And, whatever we could do to help out other leagues is definitely something that this channel, to me, is all about. All right, so we are going to end off the stream here. Hopefully, you guys got some really cool information. Like I said, either tomorrow, maybe when I'm down at work, maybe when I'm down at work, maybe we'll on Thursday or Friday we'll have a live stream, and hopefully the internet will be good then, and we'll do something like putting the schedule together then. That would probably then be more towards the afternoon, so more people are able to tune in and everything. So that might be better. The internet's not great down where I work, but basically what I'm doing down there for the most part is I'm just down there, minding a store, and we don't get very many customers, so I'm able to do a lot of recording stuff. So I've got some gaming videos that are on standby. You'll probably see one of them today. You'll probably see a few more in the upcoming days. And like I said, keep your eyes peeled. I may very well end up having some IndyCar signups and everything for an Indy 500. Trying to think here. I mean, here's the thing I'm thinking. If I'm going to have co-commentators and everything, I probably would want to get the race uploaded for commentary no later than Thursday. So that way on Friday, when I'm down at work, people are able to help me co-commentate it. With that being said, I would probably have to have signups soon because I don't know when I'm working and when I'm not working. I do know I'm working Thursday and Friday this week. I don't know about next week. I don't know about the following week. I know Saturday this week I'm not working because I'm not needed. Plus, we've got village-wide garage sales that I'm going to be going to. So, do you guys think that I should put out a promo video here today, have the signups tonight for the Indy Lights race and the 8500, and then have it record it probably tomorrow, have it uploaded by Thursday, and then have the co-commentators do it with me on Friday? Or you think that's probably something I should do since I actually know what my schedule is of going down to work? Uh, Probably that's what I'd have to do. I mean, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, there's a sign up all of a sudden." I want to have like some promo video put out there so people do know that that's actually going to be something going on like that. But if I'm going to do that, I would probably have to do that today, as soon as the stream ends, and have the signups probably tonight. Uh, so yeah. Uh, guess that's probably what I would do. And I'm surprised it's actually going to be the first time I'd have an Indy 500 on my channel that I would actually be doing. Huh. Uh, Now, here's the thing I'm thinking of too. What I could end up doing is I could have the signups and everything for Indy Lights tonight. I could have the signups for the IndyCar tomorrow, record the Indy Lights race myself, and then have co-commentators for the Indy 500. Because to be honest, I'm not certain if I'd be able to have enough time to have people commentate both the Indy Lights race and the Indy 500. So that's another thing I could do too. I could have the IndyCar, the Indy Lights signups tonight. I could have the IndyCar signups tomorrow. Record the Indy Lights race tomorrow myself, and then have the whole thing recorded for the Indy 500 and have commentators on Friday. So I'm almost thinking that might actually be the best thing. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so yeah, I will put out a promo video announcing the signups for the two races. Indy Lights tonight, IndyCar tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. So I think I got the schedule figured out for doing that. All right, so I'm gonna end this off here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all your input. And like I said, we'll be putting a schedule together probably on Thursday when they'll have our next live stream. We'll check and see, and we'll update you guys on the whole James Richardson thing, on whether he's gotten back to me or not, and whether or not he's going to be losing his charter. So that's it. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Shut up, Doug.